Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. I have a great workshop planned just for you. And before I launch right into it, I just want to say, well done. I know sometimes just sitting in one place in order to learn something new, it can be a challenge. And I want to congratulate you for being here today, opening your mind to what's out there in the world of technology and learning something new. Now, if this is your first time joining me, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. My name is Abby Ritchie, and I am the founder of Senior Savvy. And what we do is we help older adults with their technology. We do this in teaching you the basics. It's what we really are specialized in. We don't get behind your computer and take it apart or anything like that. We teach you the basics. And today I do have a topic that is kind of basic, but it's also education, and it's on using payment apps. Now, my goal is always to teach you about something. I'm not assuming you're going to use it, right? But I want you to have a basic knowledge and understanding so that when the topic does come up, you already have a foundation in which to build on. And so that's why we're talking about this topic today. Now, I do know that some of you are already using payment apps like PayPal. If you buy online, you buy on eBay, chances are you're already using PayPal. You might be using Venmo, and you might be using some of the other ones we're going to talk about today. And if there's anything more you want to learn about, I want you to go ahead and reach out to me, and I'll put my information on at the very end. Now, we're going to cover the history of payment apps because actually they've been around a lot longer than we can remember. And the best type of payment apps and why you would choose one over another. We're going to talk about your privacy, comparing them. And if you want more information, you can always reach out to me and I will share some videos with you, specifically on each and every one of the payment apps. So the payment apps have actually been around for a really long time. In the early sense, they've been around in terms of when you first started doing online banking, and that probably occurred in the mid-90s. And there's also several other types of payment apps, like just credit cards, that technology itself. So the history has been around for a long time. Some of the first well-known payment apps came from the social media networks. And the reason being is that social media started to put games on there, and they needed to give people a way that they could upscale their gameplay by offering them ways that they could purchase things right then and there in the app. So if you're using Words with Friends, for instance, and you want like more word choice, or you want to see placement selection, that's how and why these payment apps originating, so they could give people playing games more options to level up their game. So you might be asking yourself, well, I don't really use that, or I don't need it. But there are many reasons why you may want to start using payment apps. There are some places, if you're shopping online, that only accept certain kinds of payments. And then if you want to send your daughter $20, or you want to send your grandchildren money quickly and easily, you can do that using a payment app. If you want to split a bill with friends, or maybe you're all co-hosting a party, you could quickly and easily send them a payment through Venmo, for instance. Like recently, my son had a graduation party. There was one mom who coordinated everything and paid for the room at the event place. And we all wanted to pay her quickly and easily. And so we sent her money via Venmo. So you can often send the money directly from your phone. You can pay for a service. I know there are a lot of hairdressers, a lot of people who clean houses, who do handyman work, who want to get this payment using a payment app. And it's pretty quick and convenient, considering you don't have to write out a check, put it in an envelope, seal it, put a stamp on it, and mail it. There's just an easier way to get the funds there faster. So in the regards to statistics, people would say that 54% of users like to use them for the convenience. Like I mentioned, it's just convenient to be able to, immediately get that other mom the payment for the rental space. right? And it's very efficient. You have to remember when you get back home to write a check, to put in the mail, and all that. It's very, very efficient. And overall, they would say that people in the category of 18 to 34 are using these 87% of the time. And I just think that those numbers will continue to grow. The app that most older Americans are using is PayPal. And actually, I really like PayPal because they secure and protect your purchases. And they also have a pretty easy login method in which they send a code to your phone. You have to verify your identity in more than one way. And I like that. So let's hop right into the different types of payment apps. You probably have heard about Venmo. And about $150 billion is being exchanged on Venmo each year. And Venmo is great for splitting bills. Venmo is great for, maybe you want to pay your housekeeper quickly and easily, or maybe you're not home to even write a check. It's great for sending money to your grandkids, and it's free to use. It's pretty easy, and you can send and receive payments immediately. A little word on privacy when it comes to Venmo. There's a way in your settings that you can make all of your transactions private. What that means is that no one else can see that you paid your housekeeper via Venmo, you paid your hairdresser via Venmo, or anyone else is paying you. But you got to go into your settings and change all of your transactions to private. All right. That's something to keep in mind. Next up, we have PayPal. I'm sure you've heard about PayPal by now. It is the oldest payment of the digital wallet company. And you can send money to friends and family for free. There's over 3 million users. And PayPal is great when you're transferring, you're paying larger sums. And you do this by sending it to their PayPal account, which is their email address. I use PayPal when I'm purchasing things online on eBay, and I also receive PayPal payments this way. It's an easy way for me to track everything and then transfer it elsewhere. The next one that I've heard a lot about lately, and maybe you have too, is called Zelle. Zelle works through your mobile banking app. So it's not a separate app. It works with your mobile banking app. So if you're already having and doing mobile banking, you have an app on your phone, you can start using Zelle. It's free to use. They offer same-day transfers. Now, many banks are offering this. Some are not. I had a local bank here. It was a credit union, would not take Zelle payments. So that's one thing to keep in mind. However, many of them are. When should you use Zelle? Well, use it when your bank is participating in Zelle. It's really easy with same-day transfers. So if you need to get money to someone quickly and easily, Zelle's perfect for that. And again, you just want to make sure that your bank is participating in Zelle. All of the Zelle transactions are extremely private. My recommendation, just make sure and verify the recipient's email address and their phone number. And now here's payment option number 4. You may or may not have used this. If you're an Apple user, chances are it popped up a couple of times. So all of your subscriptions through Apple, maybe it's Grammarly or Words with Friends or HBO, all of them are being purchased through Apple Pay, which is part of your phone. Eventually you may want to go without a wallet and just take your phone to pay for things. I know I do this with my kids. I make sure that they have money in their Apple wallet so they can purchase things in the event they don't have any cash on them, right? And it's an easy way to send money to the kids, to friends this way. And then Apple Pay is available. This option is available at many different stores. And you just want to look for that Apple Pay icon to see if it's available where you're purchasing. Now, Apple Pay is for iPhone users only. And so it's great, again, if you want to send money to the grandkids, they know how to use it. They know how to work that Apple Pay. And let's see, a little bit of a word here on privacy. So Apple's storing your bank and your credit card information securely and encrypted. It only works when you have a passcode to your device. So you don't have to worry about someone using it without your approval. You need that passcode on your device. Now, I want to go ahead and compare a couple of these because you're probably wondering, when do I use what, right? And one way we can do that is by looking at the fees to help structure our process. So PayPal does charge a 2.9% for person-to-person, that's P2P, transfers, and using a debit or credit card. A bank transfer is free, okay? Venmo charges 3% of person-to-person using credit cards, but it's free for debit and bank accounts. Now, their standard transfer takes 1 to 3 days, but I just want to let you know, I've been using Venmo now for years, and anytime I choose this transfer, standard 1 to 3 business days, it always comes in that day, all right? Zelle has no charge for person-to-person payment services. When it comes to transfer limits, PayPal has no transfer limit. So if you are transferring large amounts, you're going to want to opt for PayPal. They do limit it to a $10,000 single transaction. Venmo's limit is $299.99, and the weekly limit is just short of $5,000. If you're transferring funds overseas, and maybe your daughter is living in London, PayPal is one of the few person-to-person money transfer platforms that allows for international transfer. Venmo does not, neither does Zelle. Now, I know we covered a ton here today. And again, my goal is to educate you so you have a basic understanding, knowledge, and foundation on the topic. Whether or not you decide to use them is up to you. But if you do decide to use them and you want a little extra help, there is my contact information. You can email me. I'll get right back to you. I love helping older adults with their technology. So if at any time you need help, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be here to help you. Thank you so much for joining me today.